Hello, everyone. And yes, I'm still here, even if I don't post very often. So, I wanted to give a quick update. Yes, I'm still lifting, and that's going all right. I have continued my contract with my coach. This is now 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. And oh my goodness, I'll tell you what. It's a sign of a good coach when they watch your competition or your training videos and they're like, "Hey, here's this new stuff that I've never done before and it's hitting all these weak areas." And I'm just like, "Oh man, I'm weak all over." Ugh. And even though the weights haven't been very high, I've just been nonstop sore. So I go from sore in my legs to my arms to my back to my legs. It's just like a vicious circle. And it's going pretty well. So we'll see as competitions get posted what the events are going to be, how that changes up. But really happy so far. I'm really enjoying the process. On to some stuff I'm not enjoying. I have been actually watching what I eat since I started this, which was in February. I believe it's the 1st or 2nd of February. And I actually gained weight. So I was eating cheesecake every night with milk and chips, and in the morning I was having cheesecake and Dr. Pepper, and then at lunchtime I was having chips with my burrito bowl and 2 pops, like just doing whatever I wanted. And I cut most of that out. So I dropped the chips, I dropped one of the pops and switched it to water. I started eating eggs for breakfast instead, and at night no more cheesecake, which was really sad. No more milk. Really watching it. Did that for 2 months and gained weight. So I hate that. But I went to a doctor, been evaluating all sorts of stuff. So first he was worried that my hemoglobin was really high, and it's been high for the last like 4 years. So this is a new doctor. My previous doctor wasn't worried about it because it was kind of a baseline. This doctor was all freaking out and thought, "Hey, you might have blood cancer." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess we should check that out." So went and got those tests. Don't have blood cancer, but the is a blood and cancer doctor, which apparently those things go together. I'm not quite sure how that works, but he was really worried, and I'm at 17.5 to 17.7, and normal ends at 17, and he wanted it like 16, 16 and a half at tops for where I live and my size and everything else. So he he told me that I've got to start doing bloodletting. So they're gonna like just drain my blood every month, which is exciting. And I was like, could it be my CPAP? And he said, possibly, but if it's treated, you shouldn't have that. So then that started this whole thing with the sleep study. So a sleep study, getting another one's $1,000. That's not happening. So managed to get a prescription to borrow a machine, and I just finished that Thursday, so yesterday. Yeah, today's Friday still, I think. And it was awful because this machine, a CPAP is just continuous, right? It's one thing, just keeps going, so it's pretty easy to get used to. This thing, it started slow, and as I was sleeping, if I had an apnea where I stopped breathing, it'd like ramp way up, and it kept waking me up. The first night I woke up 4 times, maybe more. Second night, for sure, I woke up 4 times. And just all the last week, I've been dragging and feeling terrible. But the results came in, and they told me that on average, I needed to be at 9.9. And I was at an 8. And I started at a 6. And a month ago, I decided to go to 8 from 7, which I had upped it to about 6 months ago because I thought it needed to be a little bit stronger. So on average, she said probably a 10. However, there was one night where I had a leak in the mask, and it ended up having to go all the way up to an 18. But the highest, like to get out almost everything at 95 percentile, was a 12 point something. And so she said 13. Well, I tried 13 last night. It was a little bit too high right now. So I'm going to work up to it, put it at 10.5. So that's above the 9.9, working my way up there. So hopefully that ends up clearing up the hemoglobin issue. Maybe the reason the weight isn't working with dieting is because of the sleep apnea, but I'm still thinking it's a hormonal issue. So I got to work with the doctor on that. But I'm going to try the CPAP adjustment first, see how that works out for me. And next thing that really kind of sucks, so my ankle's still messed up. For those of you who are paying attention, I rolled my ankle the week before my last contest, and it was pretty bad. It still hurts pretty bad. So just so happened that ankle, my right ankle, is the one that I tore every ligament in when I did a roof. And like there's really not a whole lot holding it together. There's just a bunch of scar tissue around it, so I actually can't bend my ankle like if I want to put my knee towards my foot, which makes things like front squats almost impossible for me to do without a very high elevation on the heel. And I've developed a bone spur because of it, so that ankle is the one that rolled, which made it even better. And then the week after the contest, I thought maybe it was the contest, but it ended up being physical therapy. I went back to physical therapy because my shoulder's still frozen post-surgery and I can't squat. So they got me to the point that I can squat in extreme amounts of pain. Like, whew. But what they would do is they had a Smith machine and I'd get under the squat and hold it for a minute and then bring my arms in. Well, because this hurt so bad, I couldn't feel anything. But when I came in, I ended up contorting my body and going this way, and this wrist went all the way back and then some. So I've had a sprained wrist for 3-4 weeks now, which just makes pressing super difficult. Just been wrapping it like crazy, been wearing a wrist brace, but still doing all the training. And this video is already going longer than I wanted to. So what is coming up? I've got a video tomorrow that I'm going to be doing with Tony. He asked me to be a guest on his podcast that he's starting. So that is going to be live tomorrow at around 2:30 Eastern. So I'm not sure what time that is your guys' time. If you want to come check it out. We're going to be talking about World's Strongest Man, the heats, and what we think, and see how close we end up being to what actually happens. And then we're going to be doing some workouts. I've just got a couple of things planned for my coach. We'll see. I might do a little bit extra since Tony's going to be coming out. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to throw some workout footage at the end of this if you want to check it out. Oh, but again, that is going to be on Tony's channel. So he's got the thing up now that it says pending and what time it's going to start, so you can check that out. And that's it. So go lift something heavy.